So we have the legs done. Foot controls and knee controls all hooked up and ready to go. Next thing we need to put in there is a master control. What the master control is a control that allows you to pick up and move the character. So again, I'm going to duplicate off my box here, and I'm going to bring it here. I'm just going to hold down X and middle mouse drag it to the origin just to snap it there. Then I'm going to just enlarge it around my character. You want to make sure it's nice and big enough that it can easily be grabbed. And I'm going to go in the side view here, and just because I like to do this visually, I'm going to take these points here and then just snap them to the ground plane just so that they're flat on the floor. Okay, so just adjust everything. Maybe I'll move this forward a little bit and then bring this back, and that's good enough right there. Now, as usual, because you want to keep your controls clean, as you can see, I have values in the channels here, so freeze transformations, always do that, don't forget to do that. Okay, so this is my master control. Okay, again, this is the one that is going to pick up and move that character. And again, make sure your pivot point is at the origin. If it's not there, just hold down D and X and snap it there. Okay, that is your master control. Now we can go ahead and color code it like we've been doing the other controls. So attribute editor, we want to go into object display and then drawing overrides and then enable overrides, and then we can pick a color. Let's go with that yellow right there. Okay, so that sticks out pretty well. Alright, so next thing we have to do is now set up our rig hierarchy. As you can see, all our stuff is just sitting in the outliner. We need to set up a rig structure so that the character can be scaled and rotated and moved and everything, and have everything work correctly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to deselect everything, make sure I don't have anything selected. I'm going to hit Control G to make a new empty group, and I'm going to duplicate this 4 times. So hit Control D 4 times, 2, 3, 4. And I should have a total of 5 groups. So now 1 through 5. Okay, so the first one is going to be character, and what character is the name of your character. So if your character's name is Bob, you would name this group Bob. Okay, then joints, controls, no scale, and this one is geometry. Okay, so character, joints, controls, no scale, geometry. Okay, so everything is going to be put into the character group so that when you collapse this group, it collapses down to one node. As you can see right now, my foot controls, everything is all here, and I've got multiple nodes. So I need to make it so that I can just put everything into the character group and have it all collapse together. Okay, so what I'm going to start by doing is take my master control and middle mouse drag it onto the character group, so that becomes a child of character. Okay, joints and controls, I'm going to select both of those and middle mouse drag them onto master control, so now they are children of master. I'm going to put geometry into no scale. Then I'm going to take no scale and put it under character. No scale, grab it, put it under character, like that. Okay, so this is where we are now. We have the characters at the top, and then under character we have no scale and master control. Under master control we have joints and controls, and under no scale we have geometry. Okay, it's very important that you get that structure set up correctly. Make sure you get it right before you move on. Okay, so next thing that we have to do is put everything into correct groups. So we have the knee pole vectors and the foot controls. Those are controls, so they go in the controls group. Okay, our robot, which is hidden right now, if I hit Control Shift H, I can show it. This is the robot group with the geometry. I'm going to drag that and put it in the geometry group. So now my robot is inside geometry because that's where our geometry goes. Okay, we have a spine 1 joint, which is the entire skeleton. That's a joint, so we're going to put that in joints. Okay, and if you did that correctly, you'll see that if I collapse everything, my entire rig is inside of this character group, and it's down to a single node. Okay, so these groups, actually I can delete this. This is our curve box here, but you can see that my entire character is inside of this group, and if I open it up, you can see all this stuff in there. Okay, so that's what we wanted to do. So, and then if we click on our master control and we can scale it up and down, you see that my rig is scaling up and down. Now obviously the geometry is not moving because the geometry has not been skinned, but the actual rig itself is scaling up properly. I can rotate it and everything stays where it's supposed to be. That's what we want. So I'm going to hide my geometry again because we're not using it right now. Okay, so that's what you want. So next thing we need to do is do a little bit of cleanup here. The groups that we made here need to be cleaned up. So what we're going to do is we're going to select character, close these, joints, controls, and geometry. Make sure I'm using control, so click on character, then control click joints, control click controls, control click geometry. And we're going to go in the channel box and we're going to hide all attributes except visibility. So we want to leave visibility unselected, select all of these, right click, go to lock and hide selected. We're going to go to no scale and lock and hide everything, including visibility. So right click, lock and hide selected. Okay, so that'll just clean things up for to make things a little neater and a little tidier, and make sure the animator is not keyframing things that they shouldn't be keyframing. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is then start on the spine, the neck, and the head. Okay,